Apa khabar? Saya Asamat. Dalam video hari ini saya nak cerita pasal masalah-masalah jadi pemuzik kat Malaysia. Specifically dekat Malaysia, tapi banyak juga problem ni sebenarnya boleh dikatakan benda yang kita boleh hadapi sebagai pemuzik dekat mana-mana tempat dekat dunia. Sebab saya akan cuba relate to yang in the Malaysian scene lah. Jadi siapa yang boleh relate dan siapa yang komen, ada nak add comments, nak tambah apa lagi problem yang ada, boleh share dengan saya juga. I think yang pertama sekali is dekat Malaysia ni, walaupun kita dah ada music scene dah lama, tapi it's also a problem about ecosystem. Maksud saya yang paling obvious is ecosystem touring. Ni siapa-siapa yang follow Jennifer Thompson mungkin yang pernah dengar cerita pasal how it's like, you know, very hard to organize touring the whole country. You know, Ad Al-Lister, selamat petang. Hasif, waalaikumsalam. Ni James Ree, apa khabar? So for example kan, kalau dekat US dia ada touring circuit. So dia ada college touring circuit, dan dia ada macam clubbing touring circuit, dan dia ada stadium touring circuit. Benda-benda ni memang established dekat US. So it's macam kalau you nak start touring, you boleh tour and cuba ikut circuit tu. Macam open mic pun ada circuit. Dekat Malaysia dulu saya rasa apparently in the 70s and 80s dulu is macam funfair touring. Di tour perform dekat funfair. Lepas tu ada more of like macam club touring dah memang ada lah for a while, tapi there is no macam established circuit yang macam you boleh cakap okay, kalau nak pergi negeri ni perform kat sini, pergi sini ni. So depends on your situation lah. Ada tempat-tempat dia, tapi tak ada macam a very organised way. Macam bila saya bual dengan kawan saya Reza Saleh pun, we had this discussion where kat Malaysia ni is not very established. Ada tempat-tempat dekat negeri-negeri masing-masing untuk perform, but dia bukan macam ada systematic list, bukan ada satu macam senarai, you know, just like follow senarai tu you boleh tour, you know. Dan tak semua orang, tak ramai orang, even before pandemic, tak ramai orang yang akan organize tour where you can tour the whole country. Ada, tapi dia akan target tempat-tempat tertentu, macam dekat Penang atau dekat Penang, Johor, KL, Ipoh, you know, Sabah, Sarawak, certain places ada. So that's one of the issues. We don't have an established touring circuit. Apa lagi masalah dekat Malaysia ni? I think satu lagi benda is education. Dari segi pendidikan dekat Malaysia ni kurang, untuk both dari segi masyarakat dan juga dari segi pemuzik. So a lot of people, I think bila nak masuk industri muzik, you kind of have this weird, vague idea tau, like sama ada you akan masuk jadi macam pop star, atau you jadi sessionist. Kalau pemuzik dia nak jadi sessionist, atau you nak main club, atau you nak busking, atau you jadi cikgu muzik. And so I think ramai orang sebenarnya dia tak tahu, orang tak tahu apa pilihan you ada dari segi kerjaya. So even ada kawan-kawan saya yang nak masuk college pun, dah graduate, they don't really know apa option yang ada. Ataupun ramai orang yang bila masuk industri muzik, they sort of only tahu option-option yang biasa, padahal there is a lot more. Dan I think the problem is that it takes a long time untuk people nampak apa option kerja dalam industri muzik, which is the problem. Another big problem when you go into that is sustainability lah. Bila jadi pemuzik ni kan, the hardest thing is to maintain kerjaya jangka panjang tau. Ramai orang akan masuk, okay, aku ada band, aku nak buat single satu, tu aku akan buat EP, tu aku hope lagu ni masuk radio, and then after that macam you have a bit of a buzz. Kalau dekat KL you have a bit of macam momentum, tapi lepas tu you don't know where to go. Where do I go after that? So that is a problem lah dekat Malaysia ni. It's like I think a lot of people start, tapi they don't know where is the next direction of the band. You know, nak touring kat luar negara, atau nak, you know, touring dalam negara, where mana lagi tempat nak perform. Kalau you perform kat KL, there's only so many times. Even kalau tak ada pandemic kan, there's only so many times you boleh perform in one place. You know, Omar cakap jadi lecturer. Lecturer is a job option for sure. You know, I considered it, and I've been approached by not every single place lah, but almost every institution has approached me to teach. But I don't lah. I prefer to be honest, I prefer to do like what I'm doing now, which is just private teaching, and it's at the moment much faster for me to develop syllabus daripada approval process for now lah. It might change in the future, I don't know. But yeah, jadi lecturer for example is a job option. Tapi you know, I think like ada orang memang suka mengajar. Like I like to teach, I suka mengajar. It's just like my passion, I suka mengajar. Tapi ada orang memang dia nak main music. Takkanlah semua orang nak jadi cikgu kan. Some people they just want to tour and perform man. But you might not know how. Dan mungkin you suka perform, tapi you tak tahu macam mana nak dapat duit. How do you get money? How do you get paid more? How do you tak kena tipu? So there's a lot of things yang berkaitan dengan industri music where all these problems exist because education tak ada. Education in a sense of real world education. Bukan saja education cara nak main instrument. You pergi dekat college, you boleh belajar cara main instrument. You can learn how to play an instrument. You can learn how to learn harmony. You can learn how to hear better. Tapi berapa ramai orang kan like know how to run a music career, music business. That's the thing. Steve Wu, the bassist, I love to tour. Very true about tipu. Itulah. It's like the thing is, you know, a lot of people kena tipu. And the thing is, how do you negotiate? Ramai orang tak tahu negotiate, tak tahu negotiate fee, tak tahu nak make sure dapat upfront payment, tak dapat, you know, you want to make sure you get paid upfront, a deposit. You nak make sure you get paid after the gig within a reasonable amount. Bukan you kena kerja bulan-bulan ataupun bertahun-tahun tak kena bayar. So these are all problems dalam music industry. Which is why, you know, which is why saya buat macam courses yang sekarang. I'm working now with a few musicians. I'm doing a new program actually, which is about building a music career long term, you know. And that is an interesting project. Tonight I have a session with them via Zoom, which is benda tu actually come from yang my earlier courses lah, Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik, which is kalau you want to go into the music industry, I recommend check it out. Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 1 dan 2, which is in the link in bio. Julian tanya, "Sir, what's the biggest university college of music in Malaysia or in the world?" In Malaysia, the big ones are UCSI, UITM, Aswara, ICOM, MIA, Malaysian Institute of Art. They all have good music programs. Sunway has a music program as well. Which one's the biggest? I don't know. I know a lot of people study at UCSI, and also there's like, you know, USM and UPM, and you know in Sabah also there is. So biggest, I'm not sure where, but I think a lot of people are at UCSI or Aswara, and a lot of people are at UITM. ICOM actually, where I studied last time, it's a smaller program, but when I was there, the faculty was amazing. Steve-O, the thing is, kalau buat proper layout for payment, cakap don't lah act so professional. And that's the thing, Steve-O. If you work with people who are very good professional, right? They won't complain that. It's mostly if you're working with people who are a bit sketchy or like smaller businesses, then they might say stuff like that. You have to fight for it lah. And it's also a matter of whether, you know, can you negotiate? Will they actually ignore you, or are you you know, can you just be ignored after that? They don't want you because you're professional, and that's another problem. People don't respect professionalism in this country, you know. So that's also a problem. And I mean, it's changing over time, but that can be also a problem bila you are trying to be professional and trying to be organised, and orang tak nak organise, you know. You nak everything in email, and they might still want a WhatsApp, you know. So these are all problems. Julian, in the world, big ones. Berkeley is huge, where I studied for my undergrad, Berkeley College of Music. Juilliard is big and famous. I don't know whether they're big in terms of the campus size. Juilliard, I can tell you the ones that are prestigious lah. Juilliard in New York City, Berkeley College of Music in Boston, which is also now Boston Conservatory is also part of Berkeley. There's a Berkeley College of Music at New York City, which is where they have the recording studios. They bought the recording studios there. I forgot the name of the studio that they bought. And then also they have a Valencia, Spain campus as well. So that's big, you know. And they also have a program collaborating with Harvard as well for their master's program. I think you can do a degree in Harvard and Berkeley at the same time. So that's kind of a big deal. So apa lagi masalah pemuzik? I think masalah pemuzik yang satu lagi dekat Malaysia ni is like bila you ambil sambil lewa, you know, people ambil sambil lewa gig. Kalau gig tu kecil, dia tak nak practice. Kalau gig tu small venue, they don't care about the music. Kalau, you know, bayaran dia kecil, they don't play as good. So I think that's the problem, and that comes from attitude lah. Which is why those are the things I discuss dekat dalam Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik. there's a way to get paid more, there's a way to get paid faster, there's a way to get more gigs. Tapi you know, not everyone's willing to do the work, not everyone's willing to change, you know. And people are creatures of habit lah. So that's how it is. Faris, selamat petang. Afrez, Muhammad Sharif, Assalam. Okay, anyone want to ask questions tak? Ada apa-apa tak? Siapa nak tanya soalan pasal this thing about pemuzik in Malaysia? And like I said, if you are all siapa-siapa yang berminat nak buat kerjaya sebagai pemuzik, get my course, Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 1 dan 2. That's the beginning of it. And later on, I probably most likely will open a new coaching program. Yang sekarang ada tapi saya tak open to public lagi. Coaching untuk kerjaya muzik. I'm working with a few musicians. Kita orang for 1 year. I want to work with them to help develop their music career. Because I think there's a gap in terms of developing a long-term plan and sustaining benda tu. Nak buat satu benda bukan nak buat secara sebulan 2 je. Kita nak buat at least setahun plan. Macam mana kita nak buat. That's what I'm discussing with them, and we're going through it part by part. Okay, anyone have any questions? Amirul je, apa khabar? Anything I can help you guys? Kalau banding dengan art related jobs, mana lagi senang cari kerja? Art related jobs macam mana? Macam like macam design atau visual, macam mana? Like what kind of stuff? What do you mean art related jobs? Art industry, visual art, performance art, theatre. Macam mana? Like what kind? Apa baik Amirul? Yeah, something like that. I think okay, there's always going to be a more artistic part of the line of work, and there's also going to be a more commercial part of work. Macam kalau you nak jadi writer kan, penulis kan, you boleh jadi copywriter, atau you boleh jadi creative writing, atau you boleh kerja untuk newspaper, journalist ke apa. Journalist is a kind of a functional job. It's you have to fulfill a certain set of requirements to write about news. Okay, if you are a creative writer, you tulis novel ke apa, like all the stuff dekat belakang ni, you follow ada guideline dia, tapi it's more on your creativity. And then there is copywriter, which is you're writing to sell things, you know. So benda tu semua different work. Animation industry, that's a good one. Animation industry, okay, macam ni tau, think about it. It depends where are you. Are you one of 1,000 animators, or are you one of 100 or 200 animators, or are you the art director, or are you the lead animator, or are you the lead character designer, are you the director of the thing? So kalau you are at the top, let's say you're head of department ataupun you ketua, you're going to get paid more. Now, not everyone can be a head of a certain department or be the lead whatever, lead designer, lead animator kan. So that will be more competitive. That role means that someone has to be more qualified or more experienced kan. So tapi kalau you are entry level, there's a lot of people that can replace your work, right? So music, the thing about the music industry is dia tak banyak macam music ni, tak banyak factory kind of model of work, except if you have to produce music like macam dekat Fiverr, in a Fiverr kind of situation where you are like, you know, you have to do like 10 different sequences for different people, 10 different backing tracks for people, and you do it like very like cepat-cepat. I do one, if I can do one very quickly, then I can do another one and I get paid more. You get paid by quantity. So in terms of like, do you get I can't tell you whether it's more competitive or whether there's more money in each, you know. If you are you asking this about you are in the animation industry and you're thinking of going into music, you're trying to figure out which one is easier? Is that the real question? I nak tanya Wilfer Syami, are you in the art industry and you're trying to think of going music? Orang Malaysia kuat select lah cikgu, select kuat. Muka macam manteno sanjung-sanjung sedangkan pakai autotune banyak. Freelancing. Freelancing is always a question of positioning now. Think about it. If you position yourself as a higher level employee, well, not employee lah, if you position yourself as someone yang higher value, you're going to get paid more. If you position yourself as an entry level, then it's going to be different. You're an art student, you play guitar as a hobby. My best advice, right, for you, dude, is to start trying both, doing both, and figuring out which one is enjoyable. If you want to figure out which one makes more money, it depends on how good you are and how good your position is. Because there's always going to be art and there's always going to be business, which is what I discussed dalam Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik. Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik, we talk about more the business side. Because usually pemuzik ni feel about business, feel about duit. You know, you get paid 500 and then you finish 400 beli gear, and you only have 100, then you belanja, you know, jalan apa semua, then you finish another. So, you know, musicians get money really quick and finish money really quick if you don't plan, you know. It's actually not a musician problem, it's just a person problem. People will, if I want to start playing guitar with fingerstyle, where should you start? Okay, I'm going to be really biased, get my course, Asas Guitar Fingerstyle. There should be the link in my bio to get it. If you cannot find it, just let me know. Also, it depends on macam mana style fingerstyle you suka. You suka Suhajong ke, ataupun you suka Alibata ke, ataupun you suka, you know, like Michael Hedges or Eric Roach or, you know, Thomas Lee, atau you suka macam Tommy Emmanuel. Depends on which style of fingerstyle guitar you suka. You suka flamenco, you suka jazz fingerstyle, macam mana. So it depends. Wilfer Shami, I noticed some artists use their own artwork to promote their new album. Yeah, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, you know, it's people just, I make my stuff with Canva. It's not that I'm a good designer or anything. I'm not, you know, but it's just very practical for me to create a lot of instant, like not instant lah, but it's faster for me to create art on demand. It's not really art lah, but, you know, functional graphics for Instagram or Twitter atau apa, sebab I need to create a lot quantity. So in a perfect world where I had a budget, I would hire a designer to do all these things. But, you know, most musicians will not be able to outsource. They hire designers or, you know, graphic designers and artists for album art, you know, or they buat for macam dia punya like special release or poster gig and special. But most of the time, a lot of people will just by necessity or budget, they just make their own art. They pakai Canva and they pakai clip art. They pakai like, you know, like Unsplash. It's not going to be like, you know, the best art ever, but that's the nature of the business lah. You kind of had to do that. Apa lagi masalah pemuzik Malaysia? I think the biggest problem I can see is that, you know, I think sometimes we're stuck thinking of business in the same business models as dulu. You know, I hear people talking and people are still discussing the music industry macam 1980s, macam 1990s, macam 2000s. And right now is a different time for music, and you can still make a living based on the old business model. You can, but I think there are other business models yang viable where you can actually, you know, sustain much faster sustain and actually utilize technology yang ada sekarang. Use social media, you know, use all the resources yang ada, use the technology, use the apps yang ada. But, you know, a lot of people are not everyone. I think younger musicians are more open to it, but some people are not open to actually embracing what this new era has to offer. And so you're waiting for it to be 1980s or 1990s or 2000s again. So these are all problems again, which I tell you sebab that's why I make those courses, yang business courses ni. That's why I do Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 1, Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 2, Panduan Band Baru. You know, all these courses yang saya buat sekarang, saya tengah design ni, is untuk the new musicians, pemuzik baru yang nak live in this day and age, in 2021. They don't want to live in 1990, they don't want to live in 2000, they don't want to live in 2010. It's not for everyone. So, Hari Khalifa. I've heard some of his playing. He sounds really good. Yeah, he sounds good. I haven't heard everything. I've heard some. Sounds good. Raji, how you doing? Okay, anyone else nak tanya? I'll answer one or two questions and then I have to call it a wrap for now. Thoughts on musician focusing on being an artist rather than working on their craft or technical knowledge? If you have the luxury of working only on your artistic side, do it. I'm talking from a very practical point of view. You know, if you have the luxury of having a manager, the luxury of having being able to work with a friend who is a sound engineer, who is a producer or a mix engineer, and you just work on your music, I think go for it. Tapi to be honest, in this day and age, I think you need to know the technical stuff. You need to know the other things, the business side. It's not, at the very least, untuk tak kena tipu. Untuk tak kena tipu, untuk tak kena kelentong, and to not be left behind, you know. So that's the thing. Waalaikumsalam, Suraji. It's mainly to not be left behind, which is why I'm doing this whole new coaching program, which not open to the public yet, not open to the public, but it's basically this new coaching program, Coaching Kerjaya Muzik, yang not open to the public, is based on the concept dalam Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 1 dan 2. Those are available, those courses are available. Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik, you can get it, and that is the foundation because it's important. Nur Irfan Fitri Azman, apa pendapat abang tentang semangat pemuzik di Malaysia dengan pemuzik luar dari segi kerjasama demi kualitas sebuah lagu? Depends who you work with lah. If you work with a good team, it's going to sound great, you know. Aubrey Suito, amazing. Siti Nurhaliza and Aubrey, amazing partnership, you know. Abang Achis, Sheila Majid, amazing team. So this is more of a person by person kind of thing. Fly bassman, he's a bass player, a friend of mine. Good bass player, very very good. Michael Virapan, great musician. So it depends who you work with lah. If you work with good musicians, you're gonna get a good product, you know. If you have good budget, good musicians, good song, good project, it's gonna sound good. But if you have people with attitude problem, they're malas, they like to give excuses, they don't practice before the recording session, they look good but they sound horrible, you're gonna have a problem. So all these problems are real. I'm not making this up, you know, I'm just saying how it is. Is music in Malaysia better than overseas? It can be. Sometimes you have really good stuff. There's a lot of people doing good stuff. Salah Music, amazing stuff. Ultimate in the album, the last album, oh, amazing. I mean, I'm also saying that because the album is good, not just because I know him personally, but you know, because he makes good albums. Joe Flizzo making good stuff, you know. Faihi Azim, sama-sama Nur Irfan Fitri Azman. Thanks for the great question. I really appreciate that. Okay guys, I'm gonna go off. Thanks so much. Kalau tak ada soalan apa-apa, I just want to say, if you are interested, kalau you berminat nak jadi pemuzik sepenuh masa, nak bina kerjaya muzik, get my course Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik 1 dan 2. Get part 1 first. Strategi Bina Kerjaya Muzik is in my link in bio. If you don't find it, send me a message. And that answers a lot of the questions that people have. How to build your music career, how do people get hired, how do you get paid in the music industry. Benda-benda yang like, some things are like kind of like mental things, mindset things yang kalau you ignore, you're gonna be left behind. And that's, you know, I've seen this happen. People masuk industry music, even dari degree music pun they quit and they do some other things because music industry is a challenging thing. You know, having a long-term career is a challenging thing. So you know, you want every advantage you can get. And check out the course if it's something that you think might be able to help you, as it has helped other musicians. You can get it. If you're not sure, send me a message. And stay tuned. In the future nanti saya akan buka coaching program, Coaching Kerjaya Muzik. Not open yet, but that one will be coming up to nanti. When it's open, you're gonna hear it from me. Okay. Thank you everyone. Kita jumpa next time. Assalamualaikum and see you guys.